Well, the game has been called, and that absolutely sucked. So, um, 9-1 in 5.5 innings. So, and what is there to say? The only bright spot that I saw was Ryan Yarborough threw a couple innings of pretty good ball. Aside from that, what else is there to write home about, right? So, this is an ugly one. It really, really, really is an ugly day. Honestly, I think the game should not have been played at all in this weather because it's supposed to get even worse tomorrow. So it might have been worse to just hold off, right? Hold off on the games and not like risk guys getting hurt because now they wore out half the bullpen here and they're going to be unavailable for tomorrow. So if they play, and if they don't play, then there's going to be some makeup games later on in the season. Maybe they'll play Sunday against the San Francisco Giants. So, but yeah, tonight I mean, the umps knew like this should not have happened. This game should not have happened. So, I wish there was more to report. There really isn't. Marcus Stroman was terrible, terrible. 2/3 of an inning, 5 runs, a bunch of walks, bunch of hits, and he got booed off the mound. So I don't know what else to say about Marcus Stroman. So, and I do think once Clark Schmidt comes back, and he's due back in a couple days. He's supposed to make his next start at the 15th to the 16th. Then it will give them some cushion. But once Luis Hill is back, and if Luis Hill is healthy, then I think the Yankees at that point will make a decision on Marcus Stroman. But I don't think they'll make a decision on that until before that, unless they call up somebody like Cam Schlittler and just decide, all right, we're going to go Cam and just eat the money for Stroman. So that would be interesting. That would be ballsy for the Yankees to do. And it really, really would. So that's an option too. But honestly, I don't think they'll boot him from the team, like DFA him or whatever you want to call it, release him or option him, or until Luis Hill comes back, and he's about to start throwing. So, which is a good sign too. Clark Schmidt was good yesterday, solid, he's economical, and looking for him to bring that same swagger, that that same performance and effort in the Bronx because we need it. We definitely need it. So, I do think once Schmidt comes back, maybe Warren gets pushed into the bullpen, or maybe Carrasco gets pushed to the bullpen along relief. But like I said, I don't think a decision is going to be made. I would be surprised, I should say, a decision is going to be made on Strowman until Hill comes back. I think that's got to be the equalizer here. So, what an awful day. Awful day for baseball. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So, but what can you say? I mean, you couldn't hit the Yankees couldn't hit the ball. I mean, the Giants can hit the ball. So weather can't really be used as an excuse for everything, because the Giants didn't have any problem hitting the freaking ball. But then again, they had better pitching tonight, and their bullpen collectively has a sub-2 ERA. So there's that too. Yeah, Warren and Strowman do have a lot to prove. At least Warren is, he's still developmental, right? So, and Carrasco, I think, the I think fans would much more tolerate Carrasco over Strowman at this point. And neither one of them have been great. I mean, except with the exception of Max Fried, he's been the only exceptional one in the whole entire rotation. So that's a fact, unfortunately. So maybe the Yankees they might make a roster move tonight because they might need another bullpen arm. So, is what it is. Yeah, see the ball, hit the ball. Exactly, Buckeye. Tony Perez, that's right. Stephen B. Shout out to everybody in the chat, by the way. I won't keep you that long because it's a nasty, rainy night. It just sucks. Demons in the building. What's good? I would give Warren every chance to succeed too. He's shown the right head for the game. He's putting himself out there, and he's still getting out and doing the work. So I want to give him every chance to perform as well. Let him take his lumps. Let him learn. You know, most definitely. Yeah, but I think the only reason Ruck up the only reason I can see Warren not going to the bullpen and instead being optioned out to AAA is so that they can keep him stretched out because he won't be stretched out in the bullpen, right? So if you keep him stretched out in AAA, then when Hill does come back and they move on from, let's just say, Strowman, then Warren can come back up and take Strowman's place. So that's the only option I see them not putting Warren in the bullpen, and I'm okay with that. And they can even bring up a guy like Cam Schlittler, who's been pitching extremely well right now. So it's just cards. I don't know. I mean, this Giants team is sneaky good. So I definitely flying under the radar here. Definitely flying under the radar. I would keep an eye on it. This National League West is the Dodgers do not have a cakewalk in the division. They definitely don't have a cakewalk. I mean, I thought the Diamondbacks were going to be good. I still think they will be, but the Giants are surprising me, and they have a really, really good bullpen. So they've got some quality starting pitchers, and the Yankees are not going to have any shortage of starting pitching that is going to be pitching to them over the next probably 10 days. They got here the Giants. They got Logan Webb coming up, and then they've got Kansas City. They got to face Lugo in Kansas City. So there's a lot of good pitchers that they're going to have to face over the next 10 days or so. So yeah, Stephen B, man, go get some rest, my man. Get some rest, man. Idea having him learn the bullpen. I don't like I said. I mean, I like the bullpen idea, but you won't be able to keep him stretched out. And I think um, if you want to keep him stretched out, you're going to have to option him out to AAA and let him continue to pitch every fifth day and get his innings up. So I don't have a problem with him going to the bullpen. It's just at this point, it might be certain decisions might be preference, certain decisions might be necessity. That's the way I'm seeing. That's the way I'm thinking too. So Chase Hooper, nice fighting in Miami this weekend. Nice. You gonna watch it, Buckeye? The email you sent me. Let me pull it up. You sent it to my black belt email, right? You sent it to my black belt email, right? Ruck up? Yeah, Clark is getting there. He's getting closer. He's getting his pitch count up little by little, but he's keeping maintaining efficiency too. I mean, 61 pitches in 4 innings. It's just pretty much 15 per. So, um, Ruck up. I'm not seeing it, brother. Hmm. I don't see it, Ruck up, man. I'm sorry, dude. Where the hell is it? No, I wouldn't have deleted it. I'm looking at my black belt email right now. Send me a message on here, man, because I want to know. I want to make sure that I don't know why I can't find it here. I want to make sure I know. I want to know what your idea is. I want to know what it is. Um, yeah, I mean, they could have hit Ray, and he struck out guys with runners on base. So I'm like, yeah. It's like our pitchers couldn't grab them. I mean, couldn't grip the ball. Yoendris Gomez couldn't grip the ball. Strowman couldn't do anything. Um, it was brutal. Well, here we go. Now I got it. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I had this email. Yeah, I didn't flag it at Ruck Up because it was your actual name. Recap minor league scores, stats, standouts for a while. Twice. Yeah, let me see when we can fit that in because that's not a bad idea because if people do want to know what's going on in the farm, so that's not a bad idea, my man. That's not a bad idea, Ruck Up. Do you follow all the levels? Do you follow all the levels? Should the Yankees get Sandy Alcantara? Not if it's going to cost them Spencer Jones. I wouldn't mind him, but not if it's going to cost them Jones. So you follow, okay, Ruck Up. Well, that's good. Yeah. It might be good to do like on a Sunday, like an end of week, that we can recap what they did during that week. That's good, Ruck Up. So let me know if that works for you. Maybe we can do something like that on a Sunday. Every Sunday or every other Sunday or something like that. It really depend. It also depends on like whether they play in the afternoon or night or whatnot. So I have to kind of play it by their schedule, and I have to also play it by my kid's schedule too. So I have no power in my house. So yeah, Bellinger. Yeah, he'll Sunday nights you work. Okay, got it. Rock up. We'll figure it out then. There's a lot of guys that aren't really hitting right now, and they haven't been really put in a position to hit. No. Yeah, I saw it. I mentioned that to my wife too, Robbie Ray. Every time he pitched, ah, oh. Yeah, that freaking grunt. No minor league teams play on Monday. I didn't realize that either. Monday night might not be a bad night too. No doubt, Buckeye. Yes, they do. Well, let's see how what we can base it on when the Yankees play. They play in the afternoon and night. But that's not a bad idea, Rucko. That's not a bad idea at all. So you can, I mean, minus Monday. I like that. Yeah, Jazz. Yeah, I mean, the Yankees hitters look off balance, off kilter, just look out of sync. So, I mean, they got to get back into this. They got to get back into this. Like I said, it's not the torpedo bats. The torpedo bats do not make it easier to hit a 98-mile fastball or 98-mile fastball with movement or an off-speed pitch. It does nothing to help hit that ball. Nothing. So I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you too. I'm gonna look at the schedule too, Ruck Up. So I will get back to you in an email now that I know it's you. That I this is one of the things that I said a couple times recently when Austin Wells was moved off of leadoff. He kind of his offense kind of tapered off. So I would put him back at leadoff, and then have Judge at 2, Cody at 3, Goldschmidt at 4, something like that. So, and then I would put Jazz at 5 instead of the 4 spot, and then if Stanton comes back at 6, like it's just or Rice right now at 6. So, but I do think because um, Goldschmidt is not really phased whether he's batting first or fourth or whatnot. There was a noticeable drop in Wells' offense when he went from leadoff to like the middle of the lineup. So I did notice that too, and I have been pointing it out. So um, I think I would agree with you 100%, man. Since he moved up from leadoff, 100%. He hit the double off the wall today, off the top of the wall today, so that's good. But I think he might be better off in the leadoff spot right now, at least. Yeah. No. Um, and we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see what happens with Jazz. We've got this year and next year. He's on a contract. On contract. I mean, let's see if he plays well enough for the Yankees to want to keep him. I know some folks have recently said we got to give him a big extension and so on and so forth. But like, I mean, he's not. I don't think he's a cancer. I don't. He doesn't rub me the wrong way. I don't think he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. I know people are annoyed that he's swinging for fences and whatnot, but his mouth doesn't rub people the wrong way. At least as far as I know. I know Strowman's mouth does rub people the wrong way. So, Arias, yeah, Arias doesn't really strike out a lot. Rock up, yeah, no. Oh, I know that probably they're going to see if DJ is healthy enough to contribute to some degree, right? And if he's not, they got to move on from him too. They do. They have to. I mean, it's just got to happen. He does have the D. I mean, I like that. I like that. You know. And again, like you have guys like George Lombard Jr. They're going to be knocking on the door at some point soon. Like, is Jazz going to play well enough to not need to call up a guy like Lombard, right? To not need to call up a guy like Roderick Arias, right? And those, I think, are the questions that are going to have to be answered at some point. Not now, obviously, because those guys are not ready, but at some point, they're going to have to answer those questions. Beagle. Yeah. Yeah, and again, yeah, DJ. Obviously, he's a veteran. He's well respected in the clubhouse, and so on and so forth. So, they're probably going to give him a chance before they move on from him. Obviously, because they're fiercely loyal to their players, which I actually respect. But if he's not cutting the cheese, like even if he doesn't cut it in his rehab in his minor league games, then it doesn't make any sense to play him. I'm not going to sit Oswaldo Cabrera so that DJ can come here and strike out 3 times, right? And not be able to run. I'm not going to sit Oswald Peraza so that DJ can do that. I'm not doing that. It's not worth it, right? So, yeah, I mean, TJ Rumfield's another one. I mentioned him recently as well. He's got a big lefty bat. He hits for some power. Yep. And Rivas too. A good contact lefty bat with some speed. Yep. Yes, indeed. So they have some decisions they're going to have to make in the near future. So don't be surprised if Cashman's on the phone tonight and makes a roster move after. Actually, let me pull it up. Let me look now. See if the Yankees make a roster move. Right. So uh, let's have a look really quickly. Mm, no, nothing yet. Nothing yet. But the game is called, obviously. Uh, Nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if they have. Yeah, I mean, he could be a Phantom IL trip too. Could be a Phantom IL trip. So Marcus Strowman was sent for testing on his left knee, which Aaron Boone said was bugging him. X-rays were taken at Yankee Stadium. Really? Oh, okay. There's that too. Thank you, Jonathan. Boone defends all of his players, Peter, and that's a good trait of a manager. You don't want a manager just gonna leave his players out to high to dry. So throw people under the bus. Mm-mm. That's not the type of manager. That's one reason why the players have his back, because he has their back, and he makes it clear, right? So Cubs are sending Justin Steele for second. There's a guy. I mean, there's a lot of guys going down with these freaking injuries, man. It's crazy. Elbow tendonitis. Yeah, it's crazy. And I remember this too. And to Sunil's point too, they tried to DFA DJ last year. Cashman did, and the veterans like Judge and Rizzo, who are close friends with DJ, all stood up and basically protested, and Cashman kind of backed off, relented. So they stood up for DJ last year, his veteran teammates. No, walk off win. All right, man. 2 for 5 with TJ Rumfield, 0 for 3 with 2 walks or Vivas. All right. All right. I'm keeping tabs on Spencer Jones too. He went deep. Was it yesterday or the day before over a center field wall? What I think Girardi being well, some of the times it's justified wink, but you don't do it in public. You don't throw him under the bus in public, and he did that. And you don't do that ever to your players. Mm-mm. No. Raindrops keep falling on your heads. What does that mean? No. But yeah, I mean, tomorrow's another day, right? We got to move. We just got to move on from this game, and then hopefully playing a game tomorrow. And hopefully the weather cooperates, right? That's pretty much what we can hope for right now. And tomorrow's game. Let me confirm the time of the game. Tomorrow is a wait, that's today's schedule. Yeah, they play 3:05 tomorrow. 3:05. You expect Strowman to go on the IL? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised with these X-rays on the knee, and like maybe they will call up Cam Schlittler. Nice, 8-7, nice. A rain out. Well, the game got called in the sixth inning, Paul. They went through six, so that the Giants it was official, so the Giants got the win. Schlittler doesn't need to be on the 40. I mean, he'll be put on the if he's the guy they bring up, he'll be put on the 40 and then brought up to 26. But you don't need to be on the 40 right now to be called up for somebody. But and then now that's the other thing too. Like if you put Strowman on the 15 day or the 10-day IL, he's still on the 40. So they would have to make some other type of corresponding move. No, no, it doesn't change anything about Schmidt's return. So Schmidt's return day is his return. He pitched yesterday, so he won't be pitching any earlier. Mm-mm. So yeah, maybe Scar is gonna go out and drive some Ubers, man. Yeah, but Schlittler, if anybody gets brought up from the minors, it would probably be Schlittler. And I'm keeping an eye on Ben Shields too. I mentioned him a few times. A lefty. He's another guy. Well, he'll get put on the 40 and then called up. It would be basically a two-part move essentially. So yeah, I wouldn't be exactly, Jonathan. They could make two moves tomorrow before the game. I mean, one could happen tonight. Ken, what do you know, my man? What do you know? Um, yeah, I could see two moves happening too, Jonathan. I would agree with you there. Yep, yep. Yeah. Let's see. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Sean Boyle's on fire. I mean, he does. I like Sean Boyle stuff too. Sean Boyle has some. He showed us something up in spring training. He definitely showed us something in spring training. So I wouldn't be fine if they brought him up as well. Uh, the Dodgers still troll people, but who cares? You know. Yeah. The Yankees beat themselves last year, so what it is, what it is. I think the Giants are probably a sleeper in the National League West. I would not sleep on the Giants. I'm not. I don't. And I've said this in the beginning of the year. I'm not just handing the Dodgers the division title and the world title. I'm not doing it. There's teams that can beat them. No. Attaboy, Stephen B. Good work. that work in, man. Get that work in. I did my rucksacking this morning and in the rain, but you got to get the work done. Even when you don't want to get out there, you got to get it done. You know, it's that discipline, man. Yeah, putting in the work even when you don't want to. Feel good afterward. That's for sure. You want to just go? I don't know. I mean, it could be. Um, he could be option too. I don't know. I have no idea. Actually, I'm not sure if he has any options left. Yeah, you did get rid of Farm. So yes, you did. Nice, Beagle. Keep putting in that work, man. Keep putting in that work. Get them steps in. Hmm I did it's a 2.5 mile loop with a weighted vest today, 50 pounds weighted vest. So that's my rucksacking for the day. That's got that's an intense workout. And then I come back and do some functional movements afterward to complement the rucksacking. It's good. Yeah, he does. Yeah, okay. He doesn't have options left. That's fine. Okay, you're right. Yeah, thank you, Ken. When you get a new puppy, you gotta pay attention to that baby. Gotta do it. Paul, thanks for coming by. Get back to work, my man. Nice. Come from Yeah, man. You're active at work, Steve. Yeah, man. Heck yeah. Yeah, the Yankees 40 right now. Let's pull up the Yankees 40, man. Yankees 40-man roster. Just so that everybody sees it as of right now. So pitchers. Michael Arias is in the minors. Clayton Beater. JT Brubaker, but he's on the 60 DIL. But for some reason he's still on 40. Carlos Carrasco, Garrett Cole. He's obviously off the 40. He's on the 60 DIL. Yeah, I mean, combat boots, I would, but it doesn't do anything for, you know, I'm doing it all on roads out here, so it's all combat boots. I need softer surfaces, but my ruck does get up to 60. I'm at 50 right now. I also get down and do push-ups with the ruck on too. I do sets of 25 push-ups. Every half mile, I get down, pop it up, I get up, keep going. So it's essentially 5 sets of 25 push-ups, like 125 push-ups with the sack on. Yeah, man. Rest of the 40. Jake Cousins, Fernando Cruz, Yuri De Los Santos, Scott Efros, Max Fried, Luis Hill, Yoendris Gomez, Ian Hamilton, Brent Hedrick, Tim Hill, Mark Leiter Jr., Jonathan Loizaga, Rodon, Schmidt, Strowman, Warren, Weaver, Devin Williams, and Ryan Yarbrough. And then catchers, JC, Jesus Rodriguez, Austin Wells. Infielders, Oswaldo, Jazz, Goldschmidt, DJ, Peraza, Pablo Reyes, Ben Rice, Braden Shoemake, Yorbit Vivas, Anthony Volpe. Outfielders, Cody Bellinger, Dominguez, Grisham, Judge, Everson Pereira. And then DH, obviously, Giancarlo Stanton. There's a lot of little highlighted things over here. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Airborne qualifications for rocking not even being a damn Barkov. Shoot. I've got 5. My dad and his 4 brothers all served. So 3 Marine, 2 Navy. One of the SEALs, one of the Navy guys was a SEAL, and one of the Marine guys was a Marine sniper. You know, um, but yeah. By the way, smack the like button, everybody. Just for celebrate being here together, even after this shit day, crap game, crap weather, crappy play. But thankfully, I do think Boone made the right move there. Try to get the game called and even take the loss to protect the rest of his players. This is I think it was a good idea. 12 miles, 3 hours, 100 pounds, full kit. Damn, damn, Rock. Oof. Pitching staff sent the stump Merrill error. Yeah, this is we need some reinforcements back, man. We do. But we got 3 of our starters out right now. 3 of them. So thankfully, Max Fried, and this is not Max Fried's, first time doing this. When what's his name went down with Tommy John in the Atlanta Braves, he stepped up and turned into the ace. God, I'm drawing a blank on the name. God, it'll come to me. 3 mile swim. Oof. Oof. What the hell's his name now? His name is. Oh, the Braves signed Rafael Montero, by the way. Spencer Strider. Thank you, Ken. Spencer Strider went down with Tommy John. Fried stepped up and turned into the ace. So, yep. Yeah, they need reinforcements. They need to be healthy. There's no doubt about that. There's no denying that. No. Of course Melvin wanted to keep going to deplete the pool. Of course he did. That's strategy, right? They can basically capitalize on the other 2 games. Yep. No surprise. Nice, Stephen B. I got a lot of stories from Buds and Paris Island and all these guys. Yeah, that's what I hear too, Buckeye. That's what I heard too. They might need to get him on the phone and call him up. Losing record? I don't know. It's a good question, Nathaniel. I mean, one of the problems is that without Cole, without Stanton, without Hill, right? They're missing a lot of their heavy hitters. Without Schmidt, so it's crazy. What we got here? Yeah. Well, they do that, but like, who's going to replace Brian Cashman is the question. Who's going to replace Aaron Boone? Burning Horn. Yes, they were undrafted, signed internationally. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, Cashman generally doesn't trade the farm, so he's never been known to do that ever. So we'll see. We will see. Mm-hmm. Core five. Yeah, Bernie Williams. Yes, they did. Bernie should have always been included in the core five. Always. No. But no, we have an injury list that long. You can't really blame Boone and Cashman for this. Yeah. Shoot, yeah, me. Could you imagine that? Managing this team and undefeated GM. Could you imagine that? Hensley Mullins, Carlos Beltran, Brandon Hyde. As what? And why? Beltran's never going to happen because he was one of the masterminds of the Astros cheating thing. That's why he was fired day one when he became Mets manager when that thing came out. So I can't see Beltran ever happen. Yeah. Theo Epstein. I think he's. I don't be surprised if he's going to be the next commissioner of baseball. Don't be surprised. Oh, I could see Garrett Cole becoming a pitching. Yeah, he's like a de facto pitching coach. He is a great mentor. His value goes way beyond his pitching. Exactly. Well, um, the part of Red Sox. Who is part of Red Sox ownership? Stephen B. And he's got a he's a consultant right now, I think, for MLB. And he was part of the Cubs ownership for a little bit, and obviously the GM of the Cubs as well. But he's he's got some big things, Epstein. He's going to be big time. You know? And what makes Brandon Hyde a better option here? It's because he has the ring doesn't make him a better option. Yeah, but Tucker was not involved in that cheating thing with the Cubs, so he wasn't involved in that. Um, Thankfully, neither was what's the other guy? Jordan Alvarez. He wasn't involved in it either. It was Correa, it was Bregman, it was Altuve, Beltran, um, and none of them got penalized. None of them. Only AJ Hinch got fired and suspended. No. I don't think Epstein's part of the Boston front office right now. Uncle Dom, who's that? Yeah, Yankees. Yeah, I mean, it's just I think he's gonna sell it to. I don't want some corporate ownership group to come. Like that's just gonna. No. Uh, he wasn't involved in the cheating thing happened in 2017. It wasn't 2018. Um, it's too early to predict, Brandon. Too early to predict. Too early to predict. We're only we got 149 games left in the season, so we got some time. And like, just a bad day around the across the board here for in the American League East. The Red Sox. Um, let's see. Red Sox lost 11-1. Blue Jays, did they play? The Rays, they won. The Orioles don't look like they played, or the Blue Jays played. So it looks like those teams are off. The Red Sox got beat pretty good today, 11-1. So scandal. I don't know, Wink. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they need Schmidt. They need Schmidt. No doubt about it. They need Schmidt. Yeah, I mean, again, it's early, but the Blue Jays don't suck. The Orioles suck right now, but again, it's early. It's too early to rule teams out. It's too early to do anything. So, um, it's too early for it. It really is. Red Sox got pummeled 11-1 by the White Sox. Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I mean, this is the first time that like Cashman has had several years to be able to actually build the farm without interference for the last couple of years. He's had all carte blanche for the last couple of years. And look who he's brought in. He's brought in Judge. He's brought in, the two top pitchers last year, Ben Hess and Bryce Cunningham, are very, they look very, very good. So they look like high end top pitchers. So that's good. That's good. So, but I'm going to stick with my prediction about the White Sox too. I think the White Sox are probably going to win 15 to 20 more games than they won last year. That was one of my predictions in Major League. So I think that's going to happen. Yep. Jacob Petruzzi's in the building. What's up, brother? Yeah. Dombrowski. So Dombrowski is no longer the GM of the Phillies. They brought in Clemens' son, who's the GM of the Phillies. Dombrowski's I think he's president of operations, something like that. So he's moved up. So, they're legit, Nathaniel. If you're asking me about Hess and Cunningham, they're legit. They're both from the SEC too, so it's the premier conference in all of baseball, just like it is in football. So, yep. Yeah, and this is the thing too. It's tougher for the Yankees to develop because they're always picking on the bottom of the rounds every year in the draft. So they have to have, you know, more aggressive development and so on and so forth. So you have guys that are, we don't get the number one picks. We don't get the Jackson Holidays. We don't get the Paul Skeens ever. Never do. You have to develop them. So that makes it even harder. Yeah, the Phillies do it too. The Rays, yeah. Phillies are also big spenders. Dave Dombrowski is not afraid to spend. He definitely brings in big names. So, yep. 1-0. Oh, really, Richard? He won nothing on his own. So, let me ask you this question: would the Yankees have won the World Series in '98, '99, and in 2000 without the moves that Cashman has made? Let's talk. Let's talk about this. Right? Who did he bring in '98? Brocious, David Wells, Duque, Chili Davis. Right? That's just in '98. '99 brought in Clemens, 2000 Justice. There is no way the core four would have won those World Series without the moves that Cashman made. So before you say he didn't win anything, I think you might want to check your facts. Well, we'll see. I hope that the bullpen's not shot. I hope not. And people don't remember, seem to remember that, when George Steinbrenner was here, when he was banned from baseball for those 3 years, that's when they drafted Derek Jeter and brought in Posada and brought in all those members of the core four. They were all brought in when Steinbrenner was banned from baseball. So, and he also tried to trade Rivera and he tried to trade Jeter at one point. He was talked out of it by Hal, his son. I don't know why people don't point this stuff out. People spend so much time just blaming Brian Cashman and blaming Aaron Boone for everything. So many channels just peddle this crap every day. And they completely ignore the other things. The things that matter. Because there is no way they would have won that World Series in '98 without Duque and Brocious and Wells and all those guys. None of them. And Cashman's the guy that brought all these guys in. Every one of them. Duque was gigantic, yeah. It's all Cashman. He became GM in '98. That was his first year officially as a GM. Why can't we win the whole thing? Because it's not that easy to win the whole thing. Why hasn't any team done back-to-backs since the Yankees? The team in baseball. The Yankees were the last team to do it. They did a three-peat. Why hasn't any team done back-to-backs? House. I don't hate House Steinbrenner. He runs it differently than George. So, and he's got a lot more to deal with than George Steinbrenner had to deal with too. It's a different game, so he runs it differently, obviously. You know, but I also don't spend my time trashing him. Well, if they can, I mean, they do that ruck up. I mean, if they can, but a lot of those franchises don't want to give them up because they're so good for them. So I wish it was that easy, man. I really do ruck up. I wish it was. Like I would love to, just poach the Rays scouting department and player development. But why would the Rays give them up? Unless on occasion here, a guy there, you offer a guy a good amount of money, some guys will leave. But you know, well, overpay is overpaying for those guys is a little bit different than overpaying for players. But yeah, do I think he's smart? I know he's smart. Trade assistant, yeah, Paulsky, I'm telling you, man. Gene Michael and Bob Watson were responsible for the Yankees last and whatever. Why is that? They didn't bring in any of those guys that Cashman brought in. None of them. And Brian Sabian is responsible for the drafting of Cheater. Not Gene Michael, not Bob Watson. You know, they're responsible for part of the dynasty. Cashman is also responsible for part of it. So we got to give credit where it's due both ways. Bob Watson was the GM in '96. Most of the core four. Well, Jeter was drafted. Was he '92? '92? I think it was '92. Um, Bob Watson was not the GM very long. The Yankees. Um, Cashman was also assistant GM, and he was also eventually promoted to GM. So they both. I like Sabian. Sabian's with the Yankees right now too, Nathaniel. So I know people just love not giving Cashman credit, but it's it's a terrible talking point. It's a terrible narrative. That's why I don't go on Twitter for all this crap. People love to peddle on Twitter, and other channels like to peddle on YouTube. It's a waste of time. I'm not dumbing down the audience with propaganda like other people do. I'm not doing it. Yeah, it's actually the core five. I think it's important to include Bernie Williams in that, Ken. 100%. Look at the moves that did work out, Italian Stallion for Cashman. Appreciate you, Ruck Up, man. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. There's so many other places, so many other people that just peddle crap. You know, trash these guys, from behind the screen. Like, have them on. Let them defend themselves. Ask them questions instead of being a dick. All right? Stop the phony tough guy act. Damn right I do, Rock Up. Damn right. It's the only way the fans that watch this channel deserve the facts and the truth, period. You deserve better than bullshit and propaganda. Yes, we will. Who Italian sign? They did with a lot of wasted money. Who are you talking about? Look at all the wasted money from George Steinbrenner. Bernie was probably our best postseason hitter of all those guys. He was probably our best. Him and Tino. Yeah. It's pointless to think about the money that's injured or sitting on the bench. It's pointless. It's a waste of It's a waste of energy. That's not Cashman's fault. If a player gets hurt, that's not his fault. I think that's another bullshit narrative that's fed out there. You got to blame Cashman for a player getting injured. No, no. Yeah, Pavano, that was a bad move. Yep. Bernie O'Neill. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, I think once Hill comes back with Strowman, then they're probably going to make a decision on. I'm sorry, when Hill comes back with Schmidt, then they're going to make a decision on Strowman. But I don't think they will before that. Um, no, they would not, Sunil, because he doesn't have a justifiable injury. Jacoby Ellsbury did. Well, I understand what you're saying, Italian Stallion. I get that. I just want to make it clear that I call out propaganda here, and I always will. Propaganda is welcome on other places, not welcome here. I'm not blaming you for that either. Nothingness. Another narrative. Nothingness. Postseason 15 out of those 16 years. So, how many other teams have been to the postseason 15 out of the 16 years? I did see Tyler Matzek's about to start. So is Luis Hill. So, a thing, right? Pennant. What other baseball team was in the playoffs 15 out of the last 16 years? I wish Don Mattingly would have won a chip here too. I really do. Hmm. Actually, no, excuse me. My apologies. 14 out of 16. 14 out of 16. But what team has been to the playoffs that many times as well? 14 out of 16 years. None. Zero. Not the Dodgers, the Red Sox. None of them. Yeah, I mean, I would vote for Mattingly in the Hall of Fame. I would vote for him in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that's right. 3-man rotation, 3-man from 6-man, 3-man because of injuries. None of which has to do anything with Brian Cashman or Aaron Boone. But why do channels spend so much time blaming them? Looking at Ben Rice, would I have Goldie? No, I would Goldie. I would have kept Goldschmidt. And there wasn't any third baseman available really. That was the Yankees were interested in. That was worth the price. They got Goldschmidt on the cheap. Look at me, Christian Walker. He's having some injury problems over there with the Astros. So, and who else? I mean, Ben Rice is right. He's playing admirably right now in Giancarlo Stanton's absence. So, mm-hmm. Medical test tomorrow. All right, all right. Get those tests. Hope your tests go well, my man. I think Pettit is close to the Hall of Fame. Um, and I think Bernie Williams is close too. Well, I understand what you're saying too, but winning the World Series is, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, Ruck up. And they haven't had 2 or 3 bad seasons. And better prospects is not guaranteed. Anything. That's the other thing too. Look at all the busts right now that are number one picks, right? And top five picks that are busts. It happens to everybody. We can win the division, Italian selling, yes. But I take it one day at a time, one game at a time, Italian style. I can't. None of us can predict. None of us can predict anything at the end of the season. It's too early. It's too early. And it's a waste. It's just no need to stress ourselves about it either. No, I get that too, Japan, yeah. And Strowman sometimes puts his foot in his mouth too, so that's the other thing. The Rockies and Pirates consistently have top picks, and they have no, exactly too. Rock up, yeah, yeah. I hear what you're saying too, Rock up. It's just you know, and I understand expectations are different when it comes to the Yankees. I get that too, and fans have a different level of patience and impatience when it comes to the Yankees. But the same thing, you know, is I find it entertaining when people who don't have any experience ever playing the sport make it sound like it should be easier than it is. And then they're getting their information from channels who also don't have experience playing the sport, saying the same thing all the time, saying how bad this one is, how bad that one is. It's not easy to hit 98-mile-an-hour fastball. It's not. Can't do it. How many World Series Richards does Cashman have, and how many World Series does Howie Roseman have? Can you answer that? Judge was the 30th, yeah, and he was a compensatory pick too. He was that extra pick in the first round when Nick Swisher left and took a qualifying offer from not qualifying. He declined the qualifying offer and signed with the Cleveland Indians. That extra pick turned into Aaron Judge. Hmm. Paranormal. Well, exactly too, Ken. Some of the expectations are just out of this world. Out of this world. Cashman's got, yeah. How many Harry Roseman have? Love you too, paranormal man. People call Cashman mad, average. They come up with all these names, right? And not giving him any credit at all. It's Bob Watson, right? It was jammed for 1 year. Uh, Gene Michael. None of those guys brought in the guys that Cashman brought in. Okay, Cashman also brought in CC and Burnett and Teixeira and Swisher when they won the World Series in 2009. It was all Cashman. No Gene Michael. No Bob Watson. Nobody. Right? Nobody. Why? Yeah, this is why I don't waste my time talking about the past, Italian Stallion. That's why I move on. Right? It's pointless talking about the past because you can't change it. Hmm. Yankees spent in 2009. They spent, man, big time. Yeah, man. Even if you make the World Wild Card playing game, that's still postseason. Yeah, the Dodgers are taking advantage of a system that was created by the union and the owners. So just like it is what it is. The big mistake is keeping Boone. Who would have been better, Italian Stallion? Who would have been why? And last year was the first time Boone had a really good roster last year. And what did he do? He took him to the World Series. Nothing yet paranormal. Nothing big right now. Yeah, nothing big. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know why I expect him to be the savior. I just want him to be a part of a consistent part of the rotation. There's no one guy that's going to be the savior of this rotation. Yeah, that's why I don't listen to that stuff, Ken. That's why again, like it's just it's a waste of time, and it's a waste of time arguing with those people too. You're getting these ridiculous expectations fed to them by people who don't have a clue, right? Anybody that's not an acceptable answer, Ty. Come on, dude. I'm gonna push you to do better here. It's not acceptable here. Out of it, yeah, yeah. I'm not surprised he liked the free agency. Why don't you like his managing style? What's his managing style, by the way? Second time, yeah, yeah. I mean, I feel bad for Ottavino, but he signed up for it, so maybe he knew that was going to happen too. I don't know, but you know, but he gets free health insurance for the year too. So the second you play a game on the major league roster, you get free health insurance for the entire year at major league level, top flight health insurance. So it's pretty damn good. Would would Jeter, Posada, Pettit, and Rivera have won the World Series without CC and Burnett and Teixeira, Swisher? Mm-mm. Their run was fantastic. Their run was fantastic. And see, this whole argument they have not won anything. It's just as if the World Series is the only thing you can win. Right? No. Raiselman looked good. Cam Schlittler is looking really good too. So, well, exactly too, Ken. Yeah, that was the first year he had a really good roster last year, and he took him to the World Series. The way he handles the bullpen, well, when has he gotten consistent length from the starters, with the exception of Cole? So you have to overuse the bullpen by you're forced to, right? The way he handles the players really has their backs vocally and clearly on the field, and they love him for it. So what do you mean the way he handles the players? This kumbaya. What do you mean by kumbaya? And what would David Cohen and Donnie Baseball have done differently? Now, there's no point in this exercise if you can't explain, you can't back up your arguments. And if you bring these positions here, I'm going to push you on it. That's all. It's like people can push me on stuff, I push right back. I'm not right just because this is my channel. My channel isn't run by ego like some other places are. Well, exactly too. Osmus and Blake are running the bullpen. Exactly. It's not Boone. Man, he's done a decent job. He's taken an underperforming team to the playoffs. I got to give him a Donnie Baseball that in the Marlins. So but this is again this there's so much heat that's on Boone and Cashman. that doesn't have much merit. And this is why I call it out on a regular basis. This is why I ask people, what channels are feeding people these narratives and talking points? Nobody's willing to say it. What channels are saying this type of stuff? Who do I think is a bad manager? I don't know. I don't waste my time with that, honestly. I don't pay attention to anything but the Yankees. Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, injuries did him dirty, man. But he was a great player, freaking great player, Don Mattingly. Mhm. Leaving guys in for too long, benching people when they have a good. I backed the day before. I backed it. I don't know when benching people when they go. Benching who? Leaving guys in for too long. You do have to get your starters to go a certain amount of innings, right? That's their job. So you're not overusing the bullpen like we had to do today because Strowman didn't give any length. So who's he benching that has a good what? I need you to do I need more. Oh yeah, CC I loved here. Loved here. I love Swisher here. Burnett was a good fit too. He was an enigma on the mound, but he was still a good fit here. You say his moves are horrible, but his moves have gotten him to the postseason every year but one here with him since he's been manager, and took him to the World Series last year. Well, this is true, 10. This is again, this is why they get talking points from channels who don't know what they're talking about, and it's a shame. And that's why I ask people, who's feeding you these talking points? Nobody's willing to say who's feeding it to them. If you're being fed it by someone else, that's fine. Just say who it is. It's not you. So I've been to several World Series too at times. Time. I don't care if you're a kid or an adult. I don't care who you are. Yeah, I played college baseball too. I also went to the Bucky Dent Baseball School scouting combine. I faced Mark Pryor. I stood with Bucky Dent. Okay, so I have just as much experience as you do. That's why I ask you to back up your positions. But because you play college baseball doesn't answer my question, and it doesn't get you off the hook either. I play college baseball too. Doesn't get me off the hook. Doesn't mean anything. Neither one of us played Major League Baseball. It doesn't matter. There's no hate here, Italian Stallion. I appreciate you, man. But I push people. I push people for a reason because I want to elevate the content. I want to elevate the conversation, right? I want you to contribute. I want you to take your thought process to the next level. Okay, NYU, Nathaniel. And I went to Monsignor McClancy in Queens. I played baseball with them too. CHSAA. McClancy also had two or three guys who have been drafted in the last decade to MLB as well. So, but it doesn't really matter. This is not a competition between, you know what I mean? That's great that you play baseball. It's great that I play baseball. But again, it's not a competition between us. But when it comes to the Yankees, right, there are certain narratives that are fed to people by other places, whether it's on Twitter or YouTube channels, that are completely unfounded. I'm not saying it's you, Italian, because you're not feeding people this stuff, but it's being fed on a regular basis to people. And a lot of people bring it here as their talking points. I get trolled from other channels with ridiculous positions. So Bobby Abreu was a solid acquisition, yes. Abreu was a good one. This is good. See, this is the type of conversation. It's good. Pushing each other here. I don't block people for disagreeing with me. I don't need to be told I'm right and great all the time. This channel is not driven by ego like some other channels are. Right? I'd rather be a leader than a boss. To me, leaders run by example. Bosses go by ego. Mhm. That's why we don't do politics on this channel either. And Nathaniel, I wasn't really directing that at you either. So there's way too much ego, man. It's not a competition, man. I say this all the time. I learn from you folks as much as you learn from me. And that's good. It's you folks that make the channel good, not me. Okay? Yeah, D1, D2, etc. Yeah. There's also JUCO, there's NAIA, there's Independent League, there's all kinds of stuff. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Sunil. No politics, man. Yeah. 21 ton addicts. That's right, man. Yeah. Oh, I know, Ken. Too much political stuff on X. And since Elon eliminated the fact checkers, it's propaganda central. And my cousin played with Andrew Bailey, who played for the A's and for the Yankees for a little while. Um, mhm. I don't know, Ruck Up. I know Michael King's being, you know, there's a lot of chatter around Michael King right now. So, well, there's a lot of them that are a bunch of cornballs. Italian. I agree with you 100%, bro. 100%. There are some good ones, but there are ones that are phony tough guys. Posing as real talkers and. Mm-mm. Um, don't be Larry. Don't be surprised if they make a roster move tonight or tomorrow, or maybe two of them, just to get some fresh arms in here. But in terms of bringing in a new pitcher outside the organization, I can see them bringing in. Well, I think it's going to depend on Luis Hill's ability to come back healthy, and I hope he does. And obviously Schmidt, but I can see them bringing in another arm at some point. I can definitely see that because we need somebody who can give them length. Well, T.J. Rumfield, isn't he a lefty hitter? Isn't he a lefty bat? T.J. Rumfield, NYU Nathaniel. With the Stern as well. Um, let's see. If I remember correctly, no, he bats righty. Okay, good. He is a righty bat. Fergie Jenkins, nice, nice, Ken. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's all good. It's all good. We'll wrap this up in a second anyway, since the freaking game is. I thought it was a lefty bat. Huh? I thought it was a lefty bat, but it says righty in his Wikipedia. But I saw him. I could have sworn I hit him. I saw him hit a home run lefty. Well, maybe they'll get him in free agency, Tucker. But he's not going to cost any less than Vlad. He's not going to cost any less than Vlad, that's for sure. It's all good, Rock. It's all good. And Tucker's a good player. We'll see how well he plays this year. So far, he's off to a decent start. 2 hours sleep. Gotta get some rest, Rock up, man. You gotta get some sleep, dude. I want to wrap it up because I'm gonna get up and I gotta get to the gym at 7 a.m. Get my training in, man. Every Saturday morning. Gym opens at 7. I'm there. You know, getting my stuff, getting my work done, man. He has gone cyborg. Sunil, he has gone cyborg. But it's a completely different game, Italian. Completely different game. And there's so much more involved on the business side and the player development side, and pitchers are getting hurt more often. So they're trying to extend every little physical advantage and mechanical advantage, but sometimes it's been creating injuries or disadvantages for players too. But they're no less athletic, and they're just as good, but they don't seem to be as durable. So, pleasure, Italian Stallion. Pleasure, dude. And again, like I said, keep pushing you. Keep pushing me, and I'll keep pushing you. There's no here. There's only love here, man. Only love. So, but I'll let you all go, gang. Appreciate you all coming on. Just move on from today. Tomorrow's another day. So, I think, yeah, I mean, the increase in velocity, especially in the early years, in the high school years, is creating injuries. So, I agree with that. I've seen it firsthand. Yeah. Joe Carter. I remember Joe Carter. Oh, yeah. Joe Carter, baby. Nice, Ken. I always like Joe Carter. But have a great night, everybody, really. Peace and love to all he is. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully celebrating Yankees win. Peace.